So much, Kristen. Happening today, tens of thousands of people will take part in pilgrimages across the state. This morning, the biggest, the Trek del Santuario de Chimayo, is already underway. Some, again, have already laced up and left. The walks they make are part of sacrifice and prayer and reflection. The state is making sure those pilgrims are all safe. News 13's Catherine Mazzone is live near Powake with the precautions for both drivers and for the walkers. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning, Crystal. Now, this is the spot where many walkers from the north make the turnoff to Chimayo and the Santuario. We've seen several walkers already this morning and a lot of traffic. Now, the Roman Catholic shrine in Chimayo has nearly 200,000 visitors a year, with the bulk of them coming this week. So you can imagine what today is going to be like. Now, the faithful believe that the church has holy soil. Each Easter season for 200 years, worshipers make the journey, walking to the adobe church, many collecting healing dirt. To facilitate people walking to Chimayo, the Department of Transportation has been putting up temporary stop signs so pedestrians can cross roads. They also have installed portable lights and covered cattle guards along the route.
Public safety is one of our #1 issues, and the pilgrims are going to be using the roads, and so we're out there to keep them safe.
Here are some other changes you'll need to know about. US 84-285 will have lanes closed north of Santa Fe. You'll also want to exercise caution on other main routes, such as state highways 502 and 503, and of course Highway 76, the main road to Chimayo. That one will be the most crowded. Now, walkers are also encouraged to wear light-colored clothing and reflective gear so that drivers can see them. Now, we have all the maps and closures on our website. Just head to KRQE.com. Back to you, Crystal.
All right, thanks so much, Catherine. And a quick reminder also that people will be making the walk on I-25 as well. Also, others will make their way to another sacred site, Tomei Hill in Valencia County. This is video from last year. The long-standing tradition began years ago when the penitentes hiked to the top of Tomei Hill to make penance. Now people from all over the state flock to the site every Good Friday. Now, state police will also be out making sure everyone is safe there as well.
We're going to have at least 7 additional officers who are going to be in the Tomei area, if you will. We'll have at least 4 of our motor patrol officers on motorcycles patrolling the area, keeping everyone safe.
So if you're about to head out to make your walk this morning to Chimayo or Tomei Hill, Kristen Curry is watching the weather for you. Let's get right to her.
That's right, Crystal. Really, as Catherine said, you need a jacket this morning, but make it one of those neon reflective jackets so we can see you out there. 30s is what we're talking about as actual temperatures, but we saw the winds bring it down to that freezing point in Santa Fe right now. We do like to see a nice afternoon, so we just got to get past this morning, and then we'll get into those 50s. A Los Lunas area down to the 30s this morning, mid-40s by 10. We're talking 60s this afternoon, topping out near 67 degrees. So cold start, nice afternoon, a little bit of wind in the mix as well. I'll break down your full forecast here coming up in about 10 minutes.
Thanks so much, Kristen. And remember, we will continue to follow those making the trek to both the El Santuario and Tomei Hill. Stay with KRQE on air and online throughout the day. We turn now to this. The suspected Bosque arsonist is keeping quiet for now, but we dug and found out he has been in trouble with the law before in another state. Audie Helms was arrested in the Bosque when an open space officers saw him leaving a fire, then setting another with a lighter. There have been 7 Bosque fires just in 2 days, but police have only been able to charge Helms with 1. Now we've learned the 37-year-old served 4 years in prison for his role in an Idaho murder in 1995. Investigators say he drove a man to a spot where his friends beat him to death. His neighbors here in Albuquerque are surprised by all of this.
I would never have thought that he would get to doing things like that. He seemed like a very good person.
We were surprised because Audie never bothers anybody.
Helms faces 2 years for the felony arson charge. Police are not saying how many more arson charges he could be facing. Bernalillo County deputies and OMI are working to figure out how a dead man ended up in a ditch. Deputies say someone saw what appeared to be a person face down in water while walking along Blake Southwest. Crews then arrived on scene and found the body of the man. Detectives working with the Rio Grande Conservancy District asked them to lower the water levels so they could investigate further. The Rio Rancho Police Department says a missing woman may be headed to Socorro. Police say Raquel Sanchez was last seen around 9 yesterday morning near Unser and Northern. They say she was wearing a pink shirt and black pants. Sanchez reportedly has diminished mental capacity and just recently moved to Rio Rancho from Socorro. She may be trying to get back there. She's described as being Caucasian, standing around 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing 127 pounds, with brown hair. Take a look at her picture again. If you see her, you're asked to call authorities immediately. On to this now, live look over New York this morning, where authorities started an ISIS-inspired bomb plot, or thwarted rather, an ISIS-inspired bomb plot by two women. Both are accused of planning to build an explosive device for attacks right here in the U.S. According to a federal complaint, the women could not understand why American citizens like them were traveling overseas to join ISIS when they could plan terrorist attacks right here in the U.S. Authorities say both had researched famous bombings in the U.S., including those at the Boston Marathon and Oklahoma City. Both are being held without bail this morning. Developing right now, authorities in Kenya are searching for a key al-Shabaab leader after the Islamic group attacked a college campus. Kenyan officials say the group targeted Christian students at Garissa University College Thursday, killing at least 147 people. Police have now placed a bounty of $217,000 in the head of Mohammed Kuno. The country's government believes he is the mastermind behind that attack. Take a look at this. Customers and staff at a game store narrowly missed by a car after it comes crashing into the store. As you can see, after the impact, things flew around, including a display table right there in the corner. No one inside was hurt. That's lucky. Alcohol is being investigated, though, as a factor, and authorities say the driver has pending charges for DUI, possession of marijuana, and attempt to elude police there. Unbelievable video. We're getting a... All right, thanks so much, Kristen. Happening today, hundreds of thousands of people visit El Santuario de Chimayo in northern New Mexico every single year. The brunt of those visitors happens this Holy Week. Tens of thousands making the trek this morning. News 13's Catherine Nazone is out there near Powake among the early walkers this morning. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning, Crystal. Now you can see behind me there is a lot of traffic. It's just getting worse. And we've seen several walkers this morning, but we imagine those numbers are going to go up as the morning progresses. You know, for many, it's a yearly tradition filled with prayer, sacrifice, and reflection. And the reasons behind their pilgrimage today, well, the reasons vary.
This is year 19 for me, and I do the trek ever since I moved here to Santa Fe, and it's very important to me. It makes me feel really attached to this place that I love.
Many will walk from Española, Santa Fe, Albuquerque, even farther than that. Now, once they reach the small church, most will pray and reflect on the meaning of Good Friday and Holy Week. The faithful also believe the Catholic shrine has holy soil that has healing powers. Now, no matter the reason, for many, it's the feeling from the pilgrimage that attracts so many people this Good Friday.
It's just a good feeling, you know, when you get up there that you just did it. You know what I mean? It's really nice.
This first hour walking into the sunrise is really beautiful. That's what I love about it.
Now, there will be extra law enforcement patrols making sure all pilgrims stay safe this morning. Now, some lanes of travel have been blocked along the way. Now, the state came out earlier this week to put up areas, or stop signs rather, for pedestrians and make sure that there were signs visible for both drivers and walkers. Back to you, Crystal.
Thanks so much, Catherine. As Catherine mentioned, some people will be walking even further, like Albuquerque or beyond. That means I-25 will also see walkers this morning. And thousands will also make the trek up Tomei Hill in Valencia County this Good Friday. This is video from last year. Their tradition began years ago when the penitentes who made the pilgrimage to make penance. Many walk as a symbol of their faith and also to reflect and pray. Pilgrims are greeted by 3 crosses at the top of that hill. Some say they've experienced miracles of healing when they do reach the top. If you are almost going to head out the door to Chimayo or to Tomei, Kristen Curry is watching the weather for you. Kristen, what is it looking like?
It's looking cold, Crystal, I'll tell you that much. We'll start in the Chimayo area and then go to Tomé. So for those of us in and around that Santa Fe, Espanola area, grab the jacket. We're still down to the 30s, but the breezy conditions make it feel cooler than that. We'll finally hit those upper 40s by 10 a.m., getting into the 50s for the later part of this afternoon. The Los Lunas area, for those of us heading up to Tomé Hill, looking at 30s as well. Breezy conditions making it feel more like those low 30s. 50s will move in by lunchtime, eventually topping out near 67 degrees today. So needless to say, you need the jacket to start, a t-shirt this afternoon. I know there's a lot of pilgrimage going on across the state. So if you need a little bit more detail for your area, just message me and I can get that to you. For this Easter weekend, though, we got some winds to talk about, unfortunately. I'll have more details on that coming up in just a bit.
And we will continue to follow those making the trek to both El Santuario and Tomé Hill. Stay with KRQE, both on air and online throughout the day. On to this now. We're following some developing news this morning out at UNM. Campus police are investigating an armed robbery that happened early this morning just outside the dorms there. According to police, the victim, a UNM student, was held up outside the Casas del Rio dormitory near Central and Girard. Police say the suspect approached the victim with a handgun, taking the student's belongings. Here are some more facts on the suspect. He is described as a black man, 6 feet tall. He was last seen taking off from the west side of campus in a dark-colored SUV. If you see him, you are asked to contact campus police. A video getting a lot of attention on social media. This one right here is stirring up a lot of controversy on UNM's campus. Listen to this.
This is disturbing, people. This is very disturbing. I am not okay with this as an American. I think we as a people should be scared. This is the University of New Mexico.
The voice you heard there is sophomore Michael Gurbata. He filmed this panel about ISIS in the Student Union building. Then he made a Facebook post titled Pro-ISIS Panel at UNM. But the Muslim Student Association says the panel was to address religion, politics, and the roots of extremism. The group says they do not condone ISIS and that the Facebook post has done the opposite of what they had hoped for.
Majority of Christians, apart from him, they were surprised. They really appreciated the fact that we were outside there and we enlightened the community and we took a stand.
We asked Guevara why he posted the video. This is what he had to tell us.
Everything has to be politically correct. Everything. We can't go against something. We just have to listen. Why can't we just stand up and say our viewpoints and ask questions and actually start a dialogue?
The Muslim Student Association posted videos of their panel discussion online. We have those for you, as well as Guevara's video on our website, krqe.com. An MDC guard is out of jail this morning after he found himself on the other side of the bars. BCSO deputies arrested 26-year-old Robert Perea after they say he tried to solicit a minor online for sex. Detectives were posing as a 13-year-old girl when they say Perea sent naked pictures via text message, then agreed to meet the girl in person. Perea was arrested when he showed up to an arranged meeting. Deputies are worried there are other victims out there. A serial car thief now knows his sentence, and he isn't going to be released anytime soon. Bait car video shows Donnie Brown stole this bait car not once, but twice before being arrested last September. In court yesterday, Brown tried to apologize and blamed his meth addiction for his actions. In total, Brown's been arrested more than 50 times in a span of 20 years. The judge said Brown has gotten plenty of chances to stop getting in trouble. He sentenced him to 8 years. New this morning, the governors of Indiana and Arkansas have approved changes to the controversial religious freedom law, amending language that was signed just yesterday. The move comes after days of pressure from businesses and protesters who said earlier versions allowed for discrimination against gays. Lawmakers say the new laws make it clear that businesses are not allowed to use religious beliefs as a reason for denying services to anyone. Well, it's a step in the right direction. Others fear the damage may already be done. And even with that change, Santa Fe Mayor Javier Gonzalez announced a resolution denouncing the law and laws like it yesterday. Gonzalez, who is openly gay, says no city funds will be used to travel to Indiana or other cities with, quote, discriminatory practices. The resolution says 12 other states have introduced similar versions of restoration laws, and city attorneys will monitor them to see if they feel they are discriminatory. Lobo football fans